Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you have been here before, or welcome if it is your first time visiting. I thought we needed to catch up a little bit today. I want to check in. How are you doing? How are y'all doing after we learned that the judge declared a mistrial in the Karen Read case? I have to tell you that this one came as no surprise to me, guys. Unfortunately, I have seen this coming for weeks and weeks now. The energy of this jury was so divided. It was almost like a political debate. That is the energy that this jury brought forth into that deliberation room. If you happen to have caught my reading on Sunday ahead of Monday's ruling, I saw this really fiery passion coming from both sides of the fence here. So we had some jurors that were staunchly opposed to giving Karen Read her freedom. They felt very strongly, and still do, that she was responsible for John O'Keefe's passing. And then we had another side of the fence here. We had jurors who were like, hey, the reasonable doubt is overwhelming. What are you guys missing? And they were like, no, this woman deserves her freedom. And neither side was prepared to give in, not even this much. However, each of these jurors on Sunday was hoping against hope that the other side would come around to see their point of view. So each one definitely wanted to somehow convince the other to see things their way. But they were so far gone right at the get-go with this, which begs the question, which I've heard many times from you guys: was there a plan? Did the prosecution or any of the players from the McAlberts get to one of those jurors? And guys, I will say this. I kept hearing this expression, in Proctor's pocket. I don't know what specifically that related to. Perhaps someone of those jurors was in Proctor's pocket, or he was filling their pocket. I don't know. I'm not here to stir up some sort of a conspiracy theory, but I kept hearing those words. So yeah, guys, unfortunately, this turn of events did not come as a surprise to me. This is one of the reasons I did not want to share my thoughts with you guys, because I don't know, to me, I feel just slightly let down by this, because everything I learned through my spirit guides and from you guys and from watching whatever I could of the trial really pointed to the fact that Karen Read was set up, and that the prosecution just had a really lousy case, in my opinion. They did not prove what happened to John O'Keefe beyond a shadow of a doubt. And the defense raised so many points of reasonable doubt that how could you ignore them? So I'm definitely a bit disappointed. How are you feeling? Let me know in the comment section down below. What are your feelings for Karen Read right now, who is facing another potential trial? So today I'm going to go on up to my reading room, and we're going to take a look at some of your lingering questions with regard to what now? Where do we go from here? What was up with that jury? Some of you sent in a few questions, and I'm going to get to them today. But as always, before I do so, if you haven't as of yet subscribed to this channel, please take a moment now and do so. I would love to have you join. And definitely don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It most certainly helps with YouTube's algorithm to get this video shown. And share it if you think some of your friends might enjoy joining us here. I thank each one of you so much for being kind, supportive, respectful. Even if you don't like the messages that I'm delivering or the way I'm interpreting the cards and the messages I'm hearing, please know that your respectful comments are welcome. You don't necessarily have to be an echo chamber here at this channel. All right, so without further ado, let's go on up and see what the cards have to say today. Okay, friends, today's 3 questions that I'm going to be looking at were sent in to me by Poetic Justice. This is a subscriber and viewer, and this lovely individual has been very loyal, has been coming on quite often, watching all of these videos and leaving very nice comments. So if you would like me to address 2 or 3 of your questions, feel free to drop me an email. I will have my email information in the description box below. And yeah, hopefully I will get to them in the weeks ahead. So Poetic sent in more than 3 questions, but I'm going to try to limit the videos to 3, because otherwise they just get really long and really like tough to edit. First question we're going to be looking at with the help of the Artist Decoded Tarot deck has to do with Trooper Proctor. And we know that he is on administrative leave at the moment. And Poetic Justice wants to know, will investigations with him and the DA lead to true justice? Okay, so what is the deal with Proctor now that he has been sent away? He's been banished. He has been Chloe'd. He has been rehomed. And rightfully so, given his behavior and mishandling of this case. I think that none of us will soon forget those horrible text messages he sent out with reference to Miss Reed. Really horrible. All right, we had a little bunch come out, so we'll see if those are the ones that want to address this question. Let's see what we have here. How many we had for this one? It looks like four cards come out. Woo, woo. I sort of wanted to know about the split, guys. I've been wondering about the split, the jurors split, like how many for and how many against. I've been hearing 8 and 4. And I feel like 8 were for acquittal and 4 were for finding her guilty. That is what I'm feeling. I don't know, I could be way, way off. It could have been just like one holdout. But for some reason, I feel as though there were more than one. But that's just sort of like a psychic guesstimate on my part. But all right, these cards want to just spin around. They want to tell their story. The Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. Lots of money energy here, financial energy. The Queen of Wands. And Judgment. Okay, wow, guys. So let me meditate a moment on these cards with reference to Poetic's question. Will the investigation into Proctor's activities via the DA lead to true justice? Or with him and the DA? I'm not sure if that means from another source investigating him, but what's going to happen with Proctor? Let's just simplify it. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles talking about a situation of someone in their female energy, sort of looking down at the situation or looking over a situation that has to do with finances. So I'm wondering whether or not someone of power, because this figure here looks like someone wearing a robe, someone in power, and I do not get Judge Beverly's energy here at all, but someone of power, perhaps in female form, might be taking a closer look at, I'm hearing misappropriation of funds around Trooper Proctor. Misappropriation of funds is the term that just came into my mind. So that's interesting to me. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So someone is taking a new look at this whole issue with regard to finances. So there's something very relevant going on behind the scenes with regard to Proctor and money. Now, this could be speaking toward what I was talking about in the opening of this video. Could someone be suspicious of Proctor's activities with reference to money and the jury? So this could be some new information that has been received from someone in a position of power, and they are looking into what has been going on with Trooper Proctor and money being placed where it shouldn't be, is almost what I'm hearing. Again, that misappropriation of funds. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Then we have the Queen of Wands. So again, this is another female energy coming up around Proctor. So I'm almost feeling as though this could be either two separate females in power or maybe one, but this or these females are going to be scrutinizing what all went on with Proctor during this investigation. Because this person, this individual who's going to be looking into the actions and activities that Proctor engaged in while he was the lead investigator in the Karen Reed case, they are now being looked at and gone through with a fine-tooth comb, is what I'm hearing. And this person that's sort of leading the brigade could be a female. And I'm feeling as though they're not liking what they're seeing coming out right now about him. And I don't know why this hasn't been studied up until now, but I'm hearing they're going to be scrutinizing and going through his actions with a fine-tooth comb. That's what I keep hearing. Okay, and then we've got judgment. So this is a karmic resolutions between someone's actions and what they have to do from a position of restitution. This is what judgment talks about to me. So if I'm reading these 4 cards with, will it lead to true justice? Although this isn't the justice card, it is the judgment card. And judgment always talks about a reckoning. So yeah, I feel as though at this moment in time, they are really looking very closely at Trooper Proctor's actions with reference to money and funds being used perhaps in a way that they shouldn't have been used. And someone or someones are going to be seeking restitution that will come of and from Proctor. A recognition from people who really ought to have seen what he was doing and that perhaps previously turned a blind eye to his actions that were not good. So yeah, there's going to be some call to explanation, call to judgment up and coming for Trooper Proctor. And I couldn't be happier to hear that one, guys. So good question. All right, let's move on to question number 2. All right, so for some reason, guys, they want to come out in groupings. So we've had 1, 2, we've had 5, I believe, come out for this question. So they're not like flying out. They're coming out in groupings, and that's okay. So let's turn these cards over. Temperance, patience, and balance. Ooh. Deception with the 7 of Swords. Deception. The 5 of Pentacles. That card talks about a loss of finances, of abundance, of stature. The 7 of Pentacles, okay, perhaps a rebuilding. And the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so again, lots of Pentacle energy coming here. Let's look at the second question. Will more come out on Colin Albert's involvement with respect to John O'Keefe's passing? Yeah, will it? So the Temperance is saying that we must be patient because we haven't heard all that we need to hear as of yet with reference to young Colin Albert's involvement. Because the 7 of Swords talks about deception and that we've got 7 players that were really looking to protect one, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that the 7 people in that house were looking to protect one energy, the 8th person who should be called to task here, being Colin Albert. And this is very, very much a card of deception. So we've been deceived and we've been patient, but there has been deception. There's been a cover-up with reference to Colin Albert that we've seen thus far, or at least with the last trial. So will more come of it? Now we've got the 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles energy is change, conflict, sometimes chaos, and it leads to a loss with respect to finances and things of that nature. So this is telling me that, yes, something is coming, a change is coming with reference to Colin. And perhaps the Seven of Pentacles talks about rebuilding a case wherein, remember, we've got the 7 here and the 7 here, wherein someone is going to try to rebuild this narrative that will now show more of Colin's involvement that evening. So I'm hearing that this case is going to be rebuilt, and Colin is going to be featured. And then we've got the 6 of Pentacles, which is sort of like a give and take energy with regard to finances or physicality. So there will be some back and forth going on with respect to Colin and what he may or may not have done that evening to contribute to the injuries that Officer O'Keefe sustained. So by back and forth, I feel as though whoever is going to be looking more closely into his particular actions, they're going to like get some information, and then it's going to be like, I don't know, I don't want to say disproven, but they're going to get information, and then it's like, I'm almost feeling like they can't use it. And then they're going to get some more interesting information that could point to his involvement, and then for whatever reason, it's not admissible. So there's a bit of back and forth energy with respect to Colin Albert and whether or not we'll get more information about it. I know someone or something is going to be trying to rebuild a narrative in which we see more of what he did. There was big deception around the fact that he was not there, not involved. That was totally deceit. And we're just going to have to be patient with this one, guys, because this might be a bit of an up and down challenge with respect to getting him or really having any official blame imparted on Colin for whatever reason. But that's what I'm hearing right now. All right, let's move on to question number 3. Interesting that these cards are coming out in groupings that seem to be really building a narrative. I'm going to, again, move quickly through as I shuffle. And let's see if we can't get, oh, okay. We had some flippers and a flyer for question number 3, so I don't have to speed through it all, do I? All right, so we've got the 4 of Wands. These cards stick together here. The 3 of Wands, the 3 and 4, sequential. Interesting. Oh, we had 5 cards again for this next question, guys. The King of Pentacles. Wow, lots of financial energy around what is going to be happening as we move beyond the end of this trial and perhaps into a second, and that is the question that I'm going to be addressing from Poetic, which is, will this get to a second trial? Will this mistrial lead to a second trial? Look at this. King of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, guys. Wow. 3 and 4. We've got 3s and 4s going wild here. 7, 7. Again, talking about that 7 energy. Remember now, we had a lot of 8 energy coming up with the McAlbert 8. But what I'm hearing right now is if this moves forward to a second trial, which my feeling right now is that they really want, both sides really want to see that happen for whatever reason. I'm kind of surprised that Karen's team does, but I think that they really want to see her exonerated. They don't want this to just go away and this cloud of suspicion to never have been resolved officially. And at this very moment in time, the prosecution is like, yeah, we still want to nail her. We still want to like show that she, or prove that she was the one responsible for John's death. So now we've got a lot of 7s, 7 energy here, which is definitely interesting because 7s talk about rebuilding, the rebuilding of something new. So I am hearing yes, double down that they are going to try to move this to a second trial at some point. Now we've got the King of Pentacles here, very much in his power. So somebody, some higher up here, who has their eye on the prize. And this is like not just financial gain, but this is a prestige thing for someone, a position of prestige. They want to see this go to a second trial, very much so. And I could be reading both energies here from both sides of the fence, but yeah, they want to see this go. They want to see this go on. Both sides is what I'm hearing. Now the 4 and 3 of Pentacles, interesting that we've got 4, 3, and then 3, 4. I'll explain. So the 4 and 3, 4s always talk about wanting stability, wanting to be seated. Think about a chair with 4 legs. They want to be in a financial place of security and stability, but also in a physical place of stability and security. But notice 4 down to 3. So right now, I'm getting the impression that the prosecution is not feeling as though they are sitting on stable ground. That one of the legs has been pulled out of that chair for them with this verdict, or lack of verdict. And now they have to go at it again. They have to look into their resources a bit further. And the 3's talking about the creation of almost, wow, I'm almost hearing the creation of a modified narrative. So I don't think they're gonna all out like change their story with respect to what happened, because that would be ridiculous if they were to do that. But I'm hearing like they sort of want to fine tune it because they feel as though they lost a little bit of their footing with this hung jury. That's what I'm hearing. Now, we've got 3 and 4 here of Wands. This is talking to me around passion. And this is talking to me with reference to the defenses side, because now we're going 3, 4. We're moving sequentially upwards. So with the 3 of Wands energy, again, we're looking at 3 individuals. These could be 3 attorneys. Once again, feeling as though they're going to unite, come together to form that bond and to join their passion, their spirit, and movement behind whatever is going to come next for their client, for Karen Reed. And then with the 4 of Wands here, the rebuilding. They're prepared to rebuild whatever it takes to get to the result that they really want to see. Because, of course, that is to see that their client is declared not guilty. And do I feel as though they were satisfied with this hung jury, with this split verdict or whatever? I feel as though they took it as a slight nod in their direction. I do not think that they were celebrating by any means, though there was obviously a sense of relief that she wasn't, found guilty, of course, naturally. But they are looking to rebuild. They're going to pool their resources, their passion, their will, and their drive and ambition, and they're going to get behind it. Because the 4 here talks about stability and getting back to that place where they feel as though they're in the lead. So yeah, I think, Poetic and everyone else watching who might be wondering, I think that at this moment in time, and of course this could change, we can take another look at it as we get closer to the next time they're all going to be meeting in the courtroom, in Judge Bev's courtroom. But at this moment in time, both sides here want a second trial. So it looks like, unless something dramatic happens, that could be where this is leading. Definitely. Alrighty, my friends, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And if you liked it, please, again, leave it a thumbs up, share it, and definitely subscribe if you haven't done so already. if you have some questions that you would like me to address, like I said, you can send me an email or just drop some down below in the comment section, and I will try to take a look at as many as I can for you. I'm happy to do so. I also want you guys to let me know which case you'd like me to look at right now, as we are sort of in this bit of a lull with the Karen Read trial. And we do have lots of questions left with regard to this case, I know that, but in between, I was hoping to perhaps take a closer look at the Sandra Birchmore case. So that's case number 1. Or another one that has been calling out to me is that of Micah Miller. Micah Francis Miller. I'd like you to take a moment and leave your vote down below as to which of those 2 cases you would like to see me take a look at in between your questions regarding Karen Read. All right, thank you guys so much for your input, your kindness, and your support, and I will see you soon in my next video. As always, be blessed.